Margie, do you have the roll?
Yes, we have 5 present, 2 absent.
All right. First item on our agenda is discussion of infrastructure projects. If you all remember, from our previous meeting, I think we had decided to give some consideration to some projects and try to prioritize those so that, the mayor and his staff kind of know which direction we want to head as far as grant funding and things of that nature. So, with that said, we'll just open the floor up for open discussion on these, potential projects, so. You wanna have anything?
Mayor, you come up with anything that we are
No.
meeting?
No, and the reason I haven't is because of this meeting here. And a lot of you, I know we just had the last meeting and we're pulling this one together pretty fast, but
Right.
it's because it's fixing to be grant season and I need to know which way, what do we wanna, you know, what do we wanna zero in on? What you guys' wishes to, you know, there's so many different areas that we can go in. The main thing that I'm looking for right now is, as far as grants wise, is, you know, are we looking to do sewer, are we looking to expand water, are we looking to, you know, I just applied for, well, I haven't even applied yet. Hopefully I'll get permission Monday night to apply for a broadband grant. You know, and I know that still has a little bit to do with infrastructure, we gotta catch our courthouse and stuff up, but, that's my thinking. Which way
I was
we wanna
gonna
go.
say, you know, of course, you were there and Seth was there, you know, from standpoint of West Stewart and Cumberland City and Tennessee Re-engineering got the same problem, but, you know, there is definitely a water shortage issue down in the southern part of the county for sure. And, to me, that and the sewer up 79 is two things that,
But what's the drainage need?
oh, I don't know that, you know, it's according to where you live. If you're up at North Stewart, you probably may need the sewer. If you're in the southern part of the county, you definitely don't wanna run out of water like you did
No.
over the winter.
You gotta have water,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
And I got a little bit of, I had a little bit of discussion after our last meeting, because I had a few phone calls that was wanting to talk about the Industrial Development Board that we just mentioned in the last meeting, and that discussion was brought up in this meeting because if we are going to try to put sewer, water on the other side of the river, then yes, we need to explore an Industrial Development Board. If that's not our goal right now, then there's no sense in me wasting any kind of valuable county time on exploring an Industrial Development Board for just the county, because they're not coming. They won't come up there without water, sewer. We all know that. That's not news. They're not gonna come without water and sewer. So, and that was my big thing. Which way do we wanna go? Do we wanna capitalize going west? Do we wanna try to capitalize going east? I'm just afraid if I go after these grants and even maybe really low interest loans, and we sell you know, if we pick 4 or 5 different projects, we're gonna sell ourselves short. So I'm just kinda thinking, what are y'all thinking as far as zeroing in on a project that I can kinda go after a few grants and try to, what is the biggest need? What do you guys see? I mean,
Well, I got 2 things I'd like to say. One, I don't think we should determine what like the biggest need is per se. I still think we need to build a master plan and
right,
build off that. But 2, you know, I'm in District 1. I know there's a lot of people in District 1 that want city water that way. But the thing about it is, the infrastructure that's currently there, you can't really push water. We're not ready. So I think it's a little premature to talk about pushing water south when really we don't know if that's what we can actually do or not with what's already there.
and I'm 100% with the master plan. We have to start that.
So when you say that, are you talking like, maybe hiring an engineering firm or something to consult with on that plan, or?
Yeah, I mean, even we don't even have to go that big. I mean, even if we just wanna throw out a couple things, like, you know, like I said before, we may not be sitting here in 5 or 10 years.
Yes, sir.
But the people that come in after us may look at it and say, okay, well, you know, they had a good idea here, you know. At that point in time, hopefully we should know what our debt is and how much is paid off and potentially what would be out there for future projects and what we could capitalize on.
Of course, there's another problem. somebody's gonna say, well, it's a city problem, but it's a county problem too. Dover doesn't have any backup to their water.
Correct.
And, they got nursing home, they got doctor's offices, and they got 2 schools over here. If their water goes down, now they're in trouble.
And there's county residents on
And,
the.
That's right.
They pay county tax.
That's right. And, getting that, probably the quickest thing there would get that water line across the bridge and tie it into North Stewart system.
Well,
But that costs a fortune.
What's the probability of doing that?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Or,
I was gonna say, you either run it across the bridge or you go under the river. And it'd probably be easier, permit wise, to go under the river, to do that, but it'd be very expensive.
Well, so Seth, you know where all the water lines are underneath the bridge. We're already a quarter of the way across it, water line wise.
Well,
Would that even matter because of the volume of water they would need to be put over here? Would it have to be a larger line? Would the smaller line be okay that's over there?
Well, let me ask you this, the one you're talking about that goes part of, that goes, you talking about like a raw water line? out
Yeah.
there?
The intake.
That would even factor in, would it?
Yeah, because it's a raw, it's there, but it's pushing water, it's gotta be treated before it, or to be able to be.
So it would have to be a whole line.
So it'd be a whole line, yeah.
Well, but like as far as permitting and stuff goes,
Oh, I see.
you're seeing, we're already,
You've already,
I don't-
you're already on the bridge.
I would say the
So,
state would be, well, they're already there. Here, I don't think
I see what you're saying, we've already established a precedent of being on
Of
there.
being on
You know,
board.
that might help out for the option of, going on the bridge, across, and I think that would be something that we could, I could kinda informally talk to TDOT and say, just sort of see what they would, it's a whole process, an encroachment form that you gotta fill out, but, if we could talk to the right person at TDOT and just ask them like, hey, this is, hypothetically, if we wanted to run across here, what kind of obstacles would they throw up, for that? I really think long-term, it would be better to get it probably put it under the river and put the right side, put a big size line, whatever.
Put it in a casing.
Or just have it in a just directional drill and pull either a big HDPE line, or, a lot of times in those big ones, they'll pull like a ductile iron,
Mhm.
with the flexible joints, pull that through.
So it is doable.
It's doable.
You got the money.
Yeah, I know, it is, it's gonna be about the money. We can certainly come up with some cost figures to bring back to the committee, just as, based on, we're not bidding it, but we could come up with some numbers
Right.
to do it.
Well, if that was done, then Dover could push water to come in the city too, if they had to.
Well,
They do now, but.
Yeah, well, I guess they could pull more from y'all,
Yeah.
from North Stewart.
Yeah.
And, do that, so, that's something that, I feel like you long-term would be better to go under, really.
What's
Right
another,
size main.
what's another alternative if it didn't work across that bridge? What other alternative would you be looking at?
That's it. Going under the rivers.
Going back this way, you know?
Oh, coming back this way?
Yeah, is that an alternative or not?
To go to West Stewart, what you're saying?
Back this way,
I don't
oh,
know.
push it this way.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying coming from,
The lake
Kentucky
back
Lake
this
and
way,
coming
yeah.
back this way.
I think that is, obviously would involve the treatment plant and a large line coming. That would be a more expensive long-term option, I think, coming from the west, but I think that's where you really get your redundancy for the county, when you're pulling out of
Yeah.
you're pulling out of a totally different body of water. And all that ground you would cover while you're going through there would be nice too.
A lot of places doesn't have anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of area down there ain't got nothing.
That's right.
But anyhow, I didn't know what would be the other alternative if you couldn't come across that bridge,
And you guys are hooked on pretty well.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If I've
Yeah.
heard right in the meetings up there.
We've got 2 backups. But if that come across the river, then we would have 3. So it would be mutual benefit to everybody, I think, if it was across there. But if I was gonna go across there, I'd put the sewer line under there at the same time.
At the same time, yeah, you can put them side by side.
Yeah.
sure.
'Cause Dover's got the sewer treatment plant, and they've got the means to treat treat the, water when the time comes.
That's-
Might not be today, might be 5 years from now.
Just curious, have you maybe pitched the idea to the city about, you know, them tackling a sewer expansion, us tackling a water expansion, or?
We have, and Charles was set to be here tonight, but his grandson was in homecoming, and that started at 5:15, so
You mean, he put that priority?
he did put it priority.
I tell you what, I would have to, I guarantee.
So, so,
I can look at Terry Fitch some other time.
That's right.
but yes, they are, speaking with Charles, they are interested in, they want their facility working to capacity, because all that does is drive the prices down for their.
For everybody else.
For their residents, first and foremost.
Can they come up with grant money also?
Sure. Well, they just landed a big grant / loan. I don't know, Seth's a little bit, he knows more as far as that USDA, and that's gonna be the pot that we have to explore for the vast majority of this, right? Yeah, so,
But Seth can tell you, you start the paperwork today, you'll be lucky to get it in 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Time you get environmentally involved and all the hoops you've gotta jump through.
well, and that's the main reason
But I think you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, and what Eli was saying about the, as far as the, you know, like putting something on paper, you know, if this committee wants to, I don't mind at all just putting in formally, this would be nothing and I'm not trying to charge for this, but just as a member of the committee, if we wanted to start putting some of the ideas down on paper, just as a brainstorm thing, and then we could just bring it, you know, in here and mark it up, and then say, all right, these are the, you know, sort of see it where everything lays out on paper. I certainly don't mind doing that at all.
I think that'd be really great.
I don't think any of us in here wants a metropolis. I don't
Yeah.
think any of you guys do. That's not what this is about, but it is about bringing other, you know, residences and commercial, you know, allotments in here. We've experienced already hotels, you know, no water and sewer. They're not coming in here without them. And if you had to ask me, looking at our budget, what could we use first and foremost? It's a hotel. We're not gonna get that running off of a septic tank. That's just
No.
not plausible in today's society. So we have to have some type of water and sewage to get them in here. We are losing valuable tax dollars because they come in here and fish, but by the time they make it back to Paris Landing Lodge or Clarksville, that's where they're gonna spend their money. And we wanna capitalize in on that. We can't do that until we have a plan to go forward, and I don't mind attacking these grants. Now, the girls are overwhelmed with them right now. We've got so many coming in and going. But they're still above water, and they're doing a good job with them, so we're all right there. So that, I think that's a great idea, both of y'all. Just, let's start seeing which way we need to go, you know. I can't explore all of them. So we need to talk about whether, you know, where we're gonna get the most bang for our buck. And there's gonna be some citizen help in this too. We're gonna help. You know, there's gonna be citizens that are gonna value off of this, have a value off of this, you know. So, but where it's really gonna pay dividends is when we get hotels and a couple other things here, in a few years, their taxes doesn't go up when the rest of the state does because we're bringing in so many tax dollars. That's where they're gonna see their biggest, and then those tax dollars, might turn around and can maybe push water towards Indian Mound, or, you know, I think we can get water to Cumberland City right now, but we're not, I think it's more of a, it's not a big push thing now. They don't have talking to Charles, they don't have the pumps or the tanks or anything to service Cumberland City if they had to.
And Urion doesn't either. It did sound like to me that they had capacity to do much for Cumberland City down there, or Tennessee Ridge.
That's right, yeah. They're sort of stuck at what, I mean, right now, you know,
They can't add nothing much.
Yeah, and that meeting, that's the opinion I took, that they were kind of at capacity.
Well, that meeting y'all were in, what did y'all get from it? I heard a little bit about it, but I don't know a whole lot about it. What did y'all get from that meeting? What was your feelings on it? I guess the one I asked.
Well, there was a lot of different scenarios discussed, kind of like what we're doing right now, but the main thing is we wanted to know what West Stewart, North Stewart, Dover, Erie, Tennessee Ridge, Cumberland City, what's their capacity right now? Does any of us have needs? North Stewart, Dover, West Stewart, they didn't have necessarily needs of getting their current folks water, where Cumberland City, Tennessee Ridge, and Erin, I don't know that Erin did. I
don't know that.
I don't think I understood them to say their general population needed more water, but for them to push to Tennessee Ridge and Cumberland City, am I saying that right?
Yeah.
For them to push to Tennessee Ridge and Cumberland City, they're almost at capacity, and that affects us all in the end, because if Erin has to check up on Cumberland City to give to Tennessee Ridge, or vice, then Cumberland City's gonna be an island
I
out
think
there.
one of the things was that is tying everybody together some way where we could share resources.
Well, that's what I understood, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, it goes back to also to like industrial customers and stuff too. There's not an excess capacity to serve anybody that really needs some water, If somebody comes in there asking for 200 or 300 gallons a minute, I mean.
Can't do it.
No, nobody can do it, so.
Yeah, that's kind of where we were at with that meeting,
That's where we're at with that, industrial part of where you had a mean, something sure enough, you can't supply the water bill, And that, I hope they correct that. I don't know whether they're working on it, if they're working on that, or what they're planning on doing.
Well, and that's one of the reasons for that meeting, so we could see if there was a way we could, help with the redundancy, keep it going. There wasn't an end all be all at the end of that meeting. We were better off because we knew where our first step needed to be, but we still don't know exactly how you're gonna make it, you left foot or you right foot.
Yeah.
So, I tell you, I don't know if y'all are interested or not. There is a grant out there, and you may know about it, but where they will actually let you hire a firm to come in and explore. That might be, I don't know if y'all are interested in me looking at that grant, but if that's something you're interested in, then I can look at that grant to see. They will actually, there's a grant that.
Search grant you're talking about?
Yeah, they will come in with a firm and say, this will be your, if you go this way, it's looking like this might be your best effort or your best way, or, this is your biggest need. They do a needs assessment. I know that was like 1 or 2 on the list was.
Well, I think that's a good idea.
Was a needs assessment, and that's a grant opportunity that might capitalize us and give us a platform.
If we apply for that, how long, till we have an answer, or?
I'd lie to you if I told you. I can't tell you what that is. I would have to, because I haven't dove off into it, other than to get into it and read it, what they did and what they've done for other communities.
Right.
I have not been that far into seeing how long a grant that is, or if it's a reimbursement grant, or is it a.
That's the USDA one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know if it's reimbursement or not, that's a good question. I know I don't think there's any.
So is it like
There's
the
no
others,
match to it.
Seth, is it part, grant and part?
No, I think it's all grants.
It's all grant?
It's like
Oh,
50,000, it's like 50,000.
I think the young lady that was in the meeting said it was up to 50,000, and it was not a match type grant. It was just a grant to explore. She almost made it sound like it helped them as much as it helped us.
Yeah, cause they're wanting to loan some money.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, you're right.
They can't loan it if we don't know what we want.
I think Mr. Bailey wants to speak. Anybody have any issue with suspending the rules to let him speak for a moment?
Make that motion.
I second that.
All in favor of that?
Well, thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Joe. I'm really glad to see that we're actually moving forward on a lot of things that we've been talking about. I've been here 12 years now. So, just real quick, if you don't know, I'm the past Chamber of Commerce Director. So I had some parlay, I guess, into some of the things we were talking about, but at the state level. So when you're talking about trying to pull in funds, and he's right, the first thing we don't have is a master plan, guys. We keep talking about doing a master plan, but until you sustain a master plan, it's kind of hard to really see what areas you need to go into. So if a master plan hasn't been developed, and I've been privy to live into a smaller town like this when I was living in Georgia, and we came up with the master plan, we actually came over with a infrastructure overlay of our county, which showed sewer, water, electrical, gas, natural gas, because we had a big natural gas thing down there in Georgia, and cable. So we have to have that so we know where we're at. If we don't have that, we're not sure, cause like you said, 2 years, we can have a new mayor, we can have a totally new board.
Yeah.
But there's nothing for somebody to say, here's what we did, let's go ahead and follow down on that, so the master plan is imperative. If you guys haven't seen these are products produced from some folks, this is Middle Tennessee Industrial Development Authority. So if you want someone here to come and do your master plan, they'll probably do it for free, because we're already part of that community. Same thing with the Tennessee Economic Development Council that we're a member of also, through Tennessee. So those two agencies should be able to get together and says, one's industrial, NTIDETA, I've attended their meetings. They are strictly industrial focused, where can you put the industry? The other one is pretty much all game. You know, like you said, if we put in water, we have to put in sewer. It makes no sense to put one or the other. If we can put in sewer, water, and natural gas, like a small city down in Georgia, and had Peterbilt come there and build a factory on their county, Peterbilt, it helps. So we have to think not just one or two, we need to say all in, but until we don't have a master plan or a study showing where it needs to go and what's the priorities, we're gonna be back in here again. My big concern coming to this meeting is, I've been here now 12 plus years, and I keep hearing TVA is gonna close. Well, if they close, that's 300 employees that we lose just like that. Gypsum's plant, I'm not sure if they'll close or not, based on the product that they have. That's another 150 employees, so we're talking 500 high-paying job employees getting out the door. We have no master plan to backfill those employees. So we're gonna take a cut, because I know the amount of revenue we get from TVA, as part of the tax incentive that we get from them. If we don't move forward, and again, MTI, the mayor knows about them, I'm not sure if you do or not, but they probably do it for us for free, because they want us to succeed. When you go to Georgia, and it was Georgia Pacific was running this big, or Georgia Power, I'm sorry, they were running this big thing, and you would go into Georgia Power and say, I'm a local businessman, I wanna know what kind of buildings are available in Stewart County, how much gas lines are in there, electrical, sewer, water, how thick the pipes are. I'm not a construction engineer or a carpenter by trade, but I know about these things because it's important to a business that wants to set up a hotel room that's gonna have 70 rooms in there. That's a lot of sewer, a lot of water capacity, as opposed to a warehouse, which we have the capacity for right now on 79 to put in a warehouse, because Clarksville's not growing north and west anymore. They're coming our way. And soon enough, they're gonna be looking for land to do warehouses on. Do we want that Stewart County? I don't know. If they pay high-paying jobs, yeah, I'm down for it. We don't need all the infrastructure, or heavy infrastructure, as we would for a smaller warehouse to sustain 40 or 50 people. We're missing out on the opportunity for that, because battery people have warehouses, electrical people have warehouses, like chip people have warehouses. The opportunity's there, and I think the master plan, like you said, needs to get done. Whoever does it, we shouldn't have to pay for it at all. I think those guys can do it for us for free.
Very well. Yeah, I think that's certainly some options we need to explore, and I think we ought to explore the grant you were talking about for the, needs assessment and things like that, so.
I can definitely.
And I think, I think Seth, if you wanna put some ideas that we've discussed on paper, or we can visualize it.
How long is this grant process open for?
I think that search grant is available at any time, I think. Don't you?
Right, right, but if we
Talking about the
decide-
USDA.
Yeah, if we
The
choose to
USDA,
go
yeah.
sewer, water, I mean, how, is it open till, first quarter, or, cause like my thing is, I may stick my foot in the mouth saying this, but I think without having information in front of us, it'd be premature to determine
I agree with you.
if we're gonna go water or sewer. But if it's gonna take us 6 or 8 months to get a grant to do a search assessment or do a master plan, then I mean,
Well, I think, my opinion is we have to start there,
right,
and let these folks come in and say, this, what we think is our greatest need. They may come in and say, it is a bigger need to tie Dover in with water, they may say, I don't know, I'm not.
And those rural development grants are ongoing all the time, right? I mean, I don't know
Yes,
if there is-
yeah.
okay, so
And
there's not a
they're
budget
partial
figure?
grants, no, and they're mainly just grant tie-ins, isn't that right, to the loans? I mean, that's what you see the most of.
Grant loan combination.
Yeah.
Oh, Seth, so he's on first name basis with them.
Oh, yeah. But you do, when you work together with them on a project,
Absolutely.
you're working on it for a long time, so, but, yeah.
And I definitely don't mind reaching out to MTIDA. I have a contact with them. They have changed hands. Well, they hadn't changed hands, they changed folks. We have a brand new, as of last week, we have a brand new supervisor for them. But Mr. Don is correct. They won't tell you anything about residential, anything. I mean, they're heavily into, yeah, there's 100 acres up there. Let me figure out how to get you water and sewer. They're the best route for the cheapest amount of money, and this is how we do it. And that's a good thing, that we do need that. He is right about TVA. I was at a meeting a couple weeks ago with them. They are closing down. They're about 180 employees right now. They have started a program where if somebody retires out, they try to go a different route with hiring that back, maybe not annual, so it doesn't affect a community. One of the ladies told me there that they had some communities that shut completely down, and it was catastrophic. So they have tried to move some things around to where they're not doing that any longer. They're looking in that 30-40 range out of this gas plant. So it will be a big hit. You're talking about 140 folks.
What's their, timeline on getting that back up there?
Yeah, they moved it back a little bit further. It's still exploring into 26th, I think, coming down, is from what I'm still understanding, so. The first one, this one. So, we'll see, but no greater time today than get started. This gives me,
Yeah, it gives us
this will give me
some
plenty of work to,
options to explore and direction to head, I think. Just working on this needs assessment and to come back and see what Seth puts together for us.
I will go ahead. I'm also gonna go ahead and get in contact with the folks that own that lagoon up on 79. Cause it has changed hands twice since they signed it, I believe, and we don't know the extent of that, I don't know if I don't think it'll hinder us going through there, but that's my opinion, strictly my opinion. I no law or even the contract that I've read that said anything about any of that. So I think there was some property rights there in the beginning, but those were.
That's 20 years ago.
Everything that we have done since then, folks have went to this company and said, is there any way I can join on? They didn't go to them and say you had to.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the rights exclusivity there is probably, but I'll definitely make sure that, we don't face any hurdles there. And then these groups, they'll do that same too, I'm sure, so.
All right, any more discussion on that topic? Any new business we want to discuss?
I did talk about the broadband. I hopefully get approval to apply for a 10% matching grant for broadband. So $100,000 is kind of what we're looking at. So, that'll let us catch up on, the courthouse is behind several years. I know my office that we still don't have Wi-Fi or any of that. I'm not saying we have to have, but I'm saying there's several buildings that are behind that we can catch on. Our IT guy will help with some of that stuff. We're gonna definitely try to explore a new audio system for in the Cumberland room in there, so when we do have meetings, we can hear in there. That system is bad. It was a new one bought when I first came in, but it's the exact same system. So Clint and I went in there to put it in, and we started getting the old mixed with the new, didn't we? It was the same system. I don't know that would help us in what but that IT will help us. I know that's a different infrastructure, but it's still infrastructure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything else? All right, we'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Is there a second? All right, motion and second, all in favor?
Who did the second?
So are you gonna try